Okay, well, hello, I'm Jared and I'm representing Spares. We're working with St Vincent's to try and solve a few of their issues. The presentation is going to take 4 distinct sections. Firstly, I'd just like to run through the issues as they were presented to us by the charities last week. Secondly, I'd like to describe our proposed solution as it applies to St Vincent's. Thirdly, I'd like to explain how we validated the problem that we've proposed to fix, and then finally give you a sneak peek of where we're at and where we're going to with the solution that we're looking to build for St Vincent's. But before I go any further, I'd just like to introduce my team. Bernie, he's the brains of the operation. Paul, who apparently he had to run, so he's the designer behind all of this stuff, and I'm here just trying to help put it all together. My name's Jared. Anyway, moving on to the problem. Last week, all the charities presented, and broadly there were 2 main issues that the charities were faced with, and that was one of a resource issue, not having the right amount of resourcing, and secondly, an awareness problem. St Vincent's was particularly affected by these problems. Their $1.5 million cost every year in New South Wales due to incorrect or unsuitable donations provided to them. That is a cost that doesn't obviously need to be there, and we can remove that through more efficient provisions. So providing stuff like soiled clothes, broken crockery, etc., etc. They can't use this stuff and it costs them a lot of money to fix it. A second problem was a government lack of support with providing funding for their campaigns. We can't really do much about that in this short time frame, but hopefully over time we can generate enough awareness through our app to help alleviate that problem. So the resolution, we feel that a marketplace is a great solution for this, connecting buyers and sellers, so effectively those who have products with those who need products in an efficient way, and thereby we can enforce rules around the quality of goods and so forth. But effectively we want to provide a mechanism to get guys connecting person to person and efficiently remove those barriers or the friction points to get people to actually give to each other. And we believe that these marketplaces are quite effective, but they are also quite challenging to implement. As you know, there's 2 sides to a market. There's a buyer and a seller, and in order for us to validate our solution, we had to test one side of that over the last week. So we decided to test the idea that people in Sydney are actually altruistic, and they would look to commit by putting an email address down to say, hey, I'm going to commit to give a blanket to people in need. Our hypothesis was that side, and we want to test that using that lean methodology, which the guys at Pollinize have proven so well. So I'm just going to jump to this quickly. Over the last week, if you can look at this screen, we basically pushed out a website where we got people to submit their email addresses and location information. And then yesterday, we pushed them to a website which, using the Census API, based on their location, I don't know what's going on here. Using the Census API based on their location, it provided information about where they were, where the closest locations were for them, whether it was 5 kilometres away, 10 kilometres away, and so forth. And we wanted to try and get them to push or deliver those blankets to St Vincent's de Paul locations. Unfortunately, we haven't had any time to validate whether or not they've come through. So where we're at, our conversion rate from email or viewing to email was 14%. That's down from about 20% last week, and we haven't figured out yet how many blankets have actually been delivered. We're still waiting for those posts to come through on Instagram, but we really need to come up with a better way of testing that. It hasn't really softened our resolve to build the app that we're trying to build, but we have got something to show you pretty much, just a sort of a brief prototype so far. So effectively here we've got Phil signed up to use the dashboard or the marketplace, and he's uploaded a fantastic party hat which is being used at the moment. People that use the website will see these listings. They'll go, listen, I actually need this hat, for example, or a blanket or something, and then the details will be provided basically to connect. To connect each other. When we get to the website in its full fruition, we'll basically provide the information to connect the buyer and seller. And in this case, it should be sending Phil a text message as we speak saying, hey, listen, I would like your party hat, and if he can, we can connect, and then hopefully remove those friction points and start getting the donations happening between. So sorry, we're pretty rushed. We try to cram a bunch of stuff in, but I hope you get the concept of what we're trying to do. I'll open the floor to questions. I think I've got 20 seconds left before question time. Thanks for your time, and we'll throw it to the floor. There we go.